So what is hemp? Hemp is a cousin of the marijuana plant, but it doesn't contain the high levels of THC. THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol, is the chemical compound that gives marijuana its drug effects. Marijuana contains 20 to 25% THC. Hemp, on the other hand, only contains 0.3% THC. You cannot get high off smoking hemp. First evidence of human use of hemp dates back to 8,800 BC. Hemp was introduced in the U.S. in 1685 by the Puritans. All the ship sails and rigging of the first colonists were made from hemp. Hemp was a staple crop. In fact, it was so vital, it was required by law for colonist farmers to grow at least 1/4 acre of hemp on their farms. During World War II, the U.S. government gave free hemp seed to farmers to grow hemp for the war effort. Industrial hemp was used for all sorts of things, from a food additive to making canvas, ropes, harnesses, rifle slings, clothing, all sorts of stuff. It is 3 times stronger than cotton, grows in almost any soil, any climate, and it matures in only 3 to 4 months. Unfortunately, after a massive negative PR campaign and a lot of disinformation from textile and plastic industry leaders, in 1970, the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act made hemp illegal. They lumped hemp in with marijuana and other actual drugs. Unfortunate because there are thousands of uses for hemp. It can be a food source. Hemp is extremely high in omega-3s, omega-6s, and fatty acids. It can be made into oil. It can literally run your car, or you can use it to cook your food. It can be added to concrete to increase tensile strength, made into clothing. It's completely biodegradable. It's bee-friendly, increases the nitrogen levels in soil. 1 acre of hemp can reduce CO2 levels by 4 metric tons per year. Growing hemp is not carbon neutral. It's actually carbon negative. Fortunately, in 2018, laws were passed allowing industrial hemp to be grown again. And that's where we start our video, with a new product called hemp wood.
Hi everybody, Todd from TSWOODANDLEATHER. I'm going to make a jewelry box, and I'm making it out of some really special wood. Hemp wood. This looks like particle board, but it's not. It's super strong. But it's made very much like particle board. It's put under pressure in a press. This stuff is more dense and heavier and more solid than oak. It is just wicked strong, but it is hemp fiber. It's basically a really, really strong straw. Super, super strong. It's a little finicky because it is a fibrous material. My bandsaw really bogged down on it because it's so dense. It's not cheap. You have to get down to some really fine grit to make it nice and smooth. Like 300, 400 grit, really nice, smooth. It's so soft. It smells a little weird. It doesn't smell like marijuana. It smells like hay. You can't smoke it. I wouldn't suggest it. I'm really fascinated with this grain. It's my first attempt at cutting and working with hemp wood. It's kind of an experiment. I'm gonna try to make a jewelry box out of this, and we'll see how it goes. Enjoy! Alright, so we have our pieces cut out for the 4 walls and the bottom. I cut the slot for the bottom, or the rabbit or dado, whatever you want to call it. So now I need to sand the inside of the box and the bottom, because once it's glued together, it's going to be too hard to get in there and sand. And then we're going to glue it all together. I am going to put a partial liner, and that will also be the ledge for the little jewelry shelf, earring shelf or whatever, that'll sit on top of it. It's a really simple jewelry box. I'm really curious to see how this stuff is going to finish. Is it going to look as good as it does in the raw state, or is it just going to fly apart when I start sanding it like particle board? I don't know. We're going to find out. So I've got my 5 pieces and just some wood glue, and then I have this nice simple frame clamp. You can see how fuzzy it gets on the edges, but I'm not going to worry about that now. It's on the outside. I'm just going to worry about getting this glued up. And then of course I'm not going to glue in the panel. I'm just going to let it slop around, and I did make it a little bit smaller than the slots so it can move and contract a little bit, and it's not gonna pop. Plus it's only an eighth of an inch thick, so it's not gonna put any stress on anything. So next, we're going to put in the liner for the bottom, and this is also going to act as a ledge for the drawer. And they're going to go down inside here, and then I have end pieces that are going to go in. There's going to be enough of a lip that it's going to hold the drawer on top, and the drawer is just going to slide on top and should be just a little below flush once we get it all done. So this is just a simple gluing process. So you can see how they fit in there. They're pretty tight. All right, so the next step is to put together the drawer. I have the bottom, the sides, and then these are the little individual dividers. Now I've done this before with really small material. This is 1/8 inch material, and I've tried using wood glue and clamps, and I can't get it to work. I have enough problems as it is with CA glue. So this is what it looks like after sanding to 320 grit. It is butter smooth. It is super soft. There are no fuzzies. If you've ever worked with a fuzzy piece of walnut where it just doesn't seem to ever want to lay flat and there's always little fuzzies. And there are some voids. You can see there's one right there, which kind of gives it the character, but that is the biggest one I've encountered so far. It looks like marble, it feels like marble, but it's really, really soft to the touch. It's different. I like it. I can't even make this board bend at all. And it's only 3/4 inch, it's about 1 foot long. It's super strong. I'm digging it so far. So.
Another neat little accessory tool I got is this miniature router plate for a Dremel tool. It's made by StuMac.com. They have all sorts of accessories for Dremel tools, and it's perfect for inlaying the hinges on these jewelry boxes. To inlay the hinges, I just measured from the center of my router bit to the edge of the mini router plate and made a simple fence. Clamped it to the piece and cut in the hinges. This little base plate gives you full control of your Dremel tool and can turn any Dremel tool into a precision mini router. I was really surprised how easy it was to inlay these hinges.
Here we have the first results of my attempt at using hemp wood. Hemp wood is a crazy product. It's made like particle board, but it's stronger than oak. It's a very unusual product. It's a little bit hard to handle, but once you get down to the higher grits of sandpaper, it finishes almost like regular wood. It is a fibrous material, so you will get some frays here and there, and you have to handle them accordingly. But other than that, this stuff is great. It looks like marble. It looks like nothing else that you've seen before. It feels soft to the touch. I really like it. Now, I've only found one producer of hemp wood so far, and I'll leave a link down below. Check out their website. You can see how it's produced. It comes in various sizes. It is not inexpensive at this point, but like any specialty item, it's going to cost a little bit more, but it cuts fine. It's actually very hard to cut through a saw or a table saw. You have to take it a little slow. It's about the same as a hard maple, but it doesn't burn, and it sands out really nice. Once you get down to the higher grit sandpapers, it smooths out really nice, and it doesn't leave any of the fuzzies from the fiber. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, send to a friend, hit the bell icon so you get the next one. And as always, until next time, love you. See you.